So linear regression versus logistic regression. So in case of linear regression, the input variables have any measurement value. Whereas even in logistic regression also, the input variables have measurement value. Then the predicted values, the outcomes, they typically have a mean value. Whereas here you are not calculating the mean. You are not using any linear equation. In case of logistic regression, you are using probability. You are calculating probability in logistic regression. That is the fundamental difference between the two. So this is a linear regression, this is a logistic regression. Bas, that much. खेल खत्म दुकान बंद, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं सोचना. एग्जाम के लिए थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस लेना, that's all. Now, doctor, non-parametric tests in biostatistics are better than the parametric tests. Why? Just before we discuss it now, parametric test क्या होता है? If the population is following a normal distribution, we use parametric tests. So even for non-normal, that is skewed data also, suppose if the data is like this distribution, or if it is negatively skewed, positively skewed, even their non-parametric tests are used. That's the reason they are much more useful in biostatistics. Bas. NEET PG 2018 का question है, right? That means examiner छोड़ेगा नहीं, 5 questions पूछेगा biostatistics में. So that is the reason one of our student, Dr. Sureka, she said, sir, हमको 300 क्वेश्चंस 10 घंटे रिवीजन करो ताकि हम पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं, खाली सुनने का जरूरत है. हाँ? तो आपके फरमाइश हम सुनाएंगे. So doctor, parametric tests versus non-parametric equivalent of that test. Let us see. Paired t-test. You will do a paired t-test only when the distribution of the population is normal distribution. Barabar? What is the counterpart similar to that in a non-parametric distribution? I mean non-parametric, that means which is not a normal distribution. Wilcoxon rank sum test is similar to paired t-test. Unpaired t-test of a parametric, the counterpart of that is MannWhitney U Test. Similarly, Pearson correlation, one-way analysis of variance, these are all parametric. Whereas Spearman correlation and Kruskal-Wallis test, they are all non-parametric. Bas. So, non-parametric, parametric equivalent. MannWhitney U Test, iska independent t-test is counterpart. Wilcoxon signed rank test, the counterpart of that is paired t-test. So whether it is MannWhitney U test or independent t-test, one variable, 2 categories between the subjects, if you are comparing, you use this non-parametric or a parametric equivalent. But if it is a one variable, 2 categories within the subjects, then you use Wilcoxon single rank test if it is non-parametric skewed distribution, or paired t-test if it is a normal distribution. Barabar? Badhiya. So let us check. Non-parametric test, Wilcoxon signed rank test. What is it doing? Comparing one median to a specified value. The counterpart of that is Z test and or one sample t-test. Wilcoxon signed rank test, it can compare 2 dependent, that is paired medians, the median value before and median value after. And if it is a skewed distribution, we use Wilcoxon signed rank. Counterpart of that is paired t-test. Similarly, MannWhitney, it is comparing 2 independent medians. It is a non-parametric test. So 2 sample t-test is the parametric counterpart. Kruskal-Wallis, it compares 3 or more medians and 1 variable. Counterpart of that parametric is one-way ANOVA. Similarly, Friedman's test is a non-parametric test. It is comparing 3 or more medians and 2 variables. Counterpart of that parametric, if it is a normal distribution, is two-way ANOVA. Chi-square test, it is testing 2 categorical variables to look for the association. Association is there or not, right? So in a chi-square test is used in a even in non-normal, even if it is a skewed data, whereas there is no counterpart of the chi-square in parametric counterpart. So that is the story which you need to remember. Now, doctor, in a clinical trial, blood pressure was measured between 2 independent groups following the treatment. Which test will be suitable? Come on, punch your answer, doctor. This was also arranged November 2018, last year same time. So कितना गरम topic है biostatistics examiner के लिए आप याद रखना, right? So tomorrow in the NEET PG 2020, when you are answering 300 questions, every time you see biostatistics, you will remember this evening with Dr. Murali Bharadwaj and about 60 online classmates. Come on, punch your answer out there. Satya is saying unpaired. Maran, oh, Maran, mere pyare Maran. 2 independent groups, it is not in the same group pre-test, post-test. If it is in the same group, pre-test, post-test, you call paired t-test. 2 independent groups, Maran, come on. What is your answer? Please correct your answer. Priyanka rightly says. Oh, come on, Radhika. Radhika is right. Good, I am happy. Harish clean board. I think Harish joined a little late. Harish, dekho, you can't do this wrong, Harish. 2 independent groups. You are comparing. Blood pressure is a continuous variable. You can calculate a mean value for that. That is the reason you use a t-test. Same group for a continuous variable to compare the mean value before and after the intervention. There you use paired t-test. Right? Right. Very good. 1 degree of freedom in a chi-square test. What is the probability at a p-value of a probability of 0.05? What is the value of chi-square for a probability of 0.05 for 1 degree of freedom? Satya is saying, why logistic regression in the previous question? Yes. What is logistic regression fundamentally doing? Logistic regression is discovering the probability based upon some standard data. So logistic regression is basically used to know out of the 5 different factors which are etiological, which has a greater probability of influencing the outcome. So probability, greater influence, that is the reason this question, it is multiple logistic regression. Got it?